We all
Oh
know.
boy. All
We
right. Let
know
me
why.
sit up.
Yeah, we know why you're
Not let
here.
me sit up.
We know why you're here. There's a movie coming out. The trailer just released. Now, matter before you talk, me and Mister A and E talk about it real quick. Monster
Yeah, yeah,
Hunter
for sure.
movie. Monster
Monster
Hunter.
Hunter.
Now, you did. Oh, dang! Someone phone just going off.
Sorry,
You want to put on the silent?
I did.
Okay.
You did the reaction to it, so definitely go check that out on the Nerdgasm
Appreciate the shout out and the reaction.
No problem.
Um,
Appreciate it.
how
No
did you
doubt.
feel about the trailer?
Are you talking to Mr. A&E, right?
Yes, Mister A and E.
So I watched it. I was just like, Monster Hunter. Now, here's the thing before I get reamed. I'm just like, I don't play Monster Hunter not because I don't like it. I just never got a chance to play it. But I'm a fan of Capcom. The only time I really got into, anything Monster Hunter was either what QFlow showed me or what I play on MVCI.
Right.
So with that being said, I was like, from trailers stuff I seen, let me see what I noticed. And when the trailer first came out to me, like I was like, it just looks like any other kind of action, futuristic, well not futuristic, but current style. It kind of looked like the what's that movie that came on Netflix? Was the OG that came on earlier, the old guard that came on earlier this year, and I was just like, okay, so I'm looking for something about. So that's seen the guy pull out the big ass sword. I was like, oh, I know that sword. Then I started seeing some of the monsters. I was like, okay, I've seen that one before, but I don't know how accurate this is going to be. And I'm like, I don't know how accurate it is towards the game because all this military shit, I ain't see this when QFlow was showing it to me. So are they angry or are they happy? Because it's obviously a multi-dimensional type thing. So, I mean, as an action trailer, I was like, it's all right. You know what I'm saying? It didn't say, man, they're making a Monster Hunter movie because, first of all, video game movies go to die. I only seen two video game movies, and that was Sonic and Mortal Kombat.
I will argue Wreck-It Ralph.
Okay, I mean, I'm not saying
Yeah,
Wreck-It
I
Ralph is
can't
it.
consider that video game, but it did have video game elements. Or Ready Player One. I can't say Ready Player One's really a video game, but that's more of a book movie.
I'm saying yeah, but that Wreck-It Ralph, I mean, they were decent movies. I'm talking about when it comes to based off the video game, like a Tomb Raider
Right.
that type of thing, or a Street Fighter stuff like that. When it's based off the video game, they go and do a movie about it, opposed to having I mean, if you mess up a movie that has all video game type elements in there, then you suck.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying, but when it comes to just based off that video game characters, such as Mortal Kombat, the first one, and Sonic, I thought those were the ones that did the best job at doing it. So it's like I want to hold out for it, but to me, it looks like it may turn to another Resident Evil.
Right, right. Now, when I saw the trailer, I was interested in the movie. I played Monster Hunter I guess 3 times in my life, mainly because all my friends were playing. I was like, fine, I'll check it out. And there was certain stuff in there that I was like, oh, sweet. I remember doing that move. I remember seeing that monster in the game. I have the same reaction that you had with Sonic. Why do we have to include humans in it? Not saying the humans in the Monster Hunter world, but the humans in our world. Why do we have to be teleported? Why can't they just keep it in the Monster Hunter realm? You know, that's the main problem I had with it. Now I gotta say the international trailer was definitely better than the trailer that we got, where they dive a little bit more into the weapons that they have, and you see a little bit more of the training with the weapons and all that. So I'm personally interested in the movie. Now we're gonna sit back. You might as well just you could take a nap all you want. We're just gonna let Q flow. Here's your keys. Just drive.
All right.
Before
Wait,
that,
don't
all
tell
right.
me to
So
do.
boom, there you go.
All right. So listen. I feel like we got another Godzilla in our hands, and this is why I say that.
Who? Which one?
The recent one.
Oof.
The monsters in this film, from what I seen in the trailer, 100% accurate. Couldn't get no better than that. Can't get it no better than that. It's 100% accurate. They got the roars right. They got the the level of terrifying. They got it right. They got it right. Here's where they got it wrong. You teleported people from modern society back into, which is kind of prehistoric-ish, prehistoric, almost at the I want to say like we in the not stone ages, but like the iron ages and all that.
Mm-hmm.
You teleport, like that's where you effed up. There are no modern firearms in this game. None. I do not want to see you shooting a Gatling gun at Diablos. Diablos is the one with the two horns. I don't want to see you shooting a Gatling gun at no Diablos. But whatever. Here's the other thing. First of all, I'm trying to not be super duper, I play the game, so I'm trying not to be that guy, but I have to be that guy. If Diablos is the first monster they're running into, they honestly should be dead. If we're being honest, they should be dead, all of them, Tony Jaa included. Because first of all, judging by the weapons he has, that's not enough to fight any of the monsters in this movie. If I'm going to be that guy, none of those weapons he's using are strong enough to fight the monsters in this movie. Secondly, this is one thing I'm worried about. I'm really worried about this. In the international trailer, you heard Mila say, if we can go to their world, they could come to ours. No. I do not want to see Gore Magala or Rathalos versus a fighter plane or a tank or something. I don't want to see that. We got Monster Hunter Stories. There's a game called Monster Hunter Stories where there's actual villages, actual storytelling with the people and the monsters of the world. They could have just made us a movie like that. They didn't have to give us this fish out of water, how did we get here type of film. Now all right. So that's that. Now I like the monsters that they chose. Except for I just don't think the first monster they need to run into is a Diablos though. But I guess it's okay because they got freaking Gatling guns and 50 cal rifles. So I guess it's okay. I don't know. But I like the choices that they use. Rathalos is a flagship monster. That you guys seen that monster in Marvel vs. Capcom, in Super Smash Bros. You fight that monster in Super Smash Bros. I don't know if you guys remember that or not. But
I'm sorry.
I feel like there was still a way you could have seen that, but that's fine.
Oh, okay.
But that's Monster Hunter's flagship monster, so I'm fine with that. Them adding Gore Magala, that's kind of like their second flagship monster. I'm surprised they're teasing that because that dragon is very complicated to explain, especially if you haven't played the older game, like the older games from the Nintendo and PSP days. It's very hard to explain that dragon. So them adding him in that, it's like, oh, okay. And especially because the story behind that monster alone is a whole nother podcast. But I'm not mad at the choices they use. That's fine. Now here's the other thing that bothered me. As a player, you spot some inconsistencies. One, Tony Jaa. If we're looking at this video game wise, Tony Jaa is the most broken character. Period. It is impossible for you to carry a great sword and a bow and arrow in this game, but somehow Tony Jaa's doing it. I don't know what type of The Rock plot armor he got for this film, but you can't do that. That's impossible. Secondly, the great sword's too small. In the game, that sword is about the size of my living room table. Yet but in the movie, it's about the size of a baseball bat. But it looks like a giant knife. But it's about the same length as a baseball bat. The thing about this game is that the people in this game, the hunters, are like freakishly strong. Like the way The Rock is, holding helicopters back, even though he's just a regular human. That's their type of power level because they're holding these big ass hammers, these big ass swords, and they're fighting dragons. Like, you gotta have arm strength to cut through scales and all that. So their power level. So I mean, but the sword it just looks too. I don't know. It's about the size of an umbrella. It's just like, nah, it's not supposed to be like that. and then him teaching her how to use dual blades. That's cool, but I don't know. I feel like they're forcing the demon form on her, and I feel like they're gonna ruin it. The thing with dual blades is like it's a pretty weapon. When you use it, it's fluent. It's like you're dancing with knives in your hands, and I just feel like they're not going to be able to portray that in the movie. But we'll see. Now, is everybody getting weapons? I don't know. Because I'm telling you right now, I do not want to see T.I. with a long sword in his hand. Like, I do not want to see T.I. doing samurai shit with, Megan Good. I love her. She's beautiful. I do not want to see her with a hammer in her hands. Like, you know what I mean? You're not your Shazam character. You're a regular soldier in this film. I don't want to see her with a hammer in her hands doing the downhill Sonic spin. Like, there's a lot of things in this video game that's outrageously cool. I just don't want to see that in this film because they just do not make it believable. No way, and I already don't believe Ti. On your left, I don't believe Ti saying that. I don't want to see him with a long sword doing EI slash and Valor stance. Like I'm sorry. That's
Well,
just
I don't think Ti is going to make it because looking at that trailer,
looking at the trailer, it's
Mila
just gonna be
Kunis was
Tony
supposed to be.
John, Neil, yeah, right.
Yeah, I was like,
But
oh, they're probably not going
but
to
I mean,
make it.
here's the thing, Ant. Like I said, that's the one thing that worries me. She's talking about if we can go to their world, they could come to ours. If they're coming to modern world, I feel like they won't need Ti and all them anymore. So I don't know. It
Right.
just confuses me. Honestly, though, I'm gonna go see the movie with y'all. I'll go see it. This movie's gonna be terrible. We're looking at another whatever. Pick a bad video game movie. We're looking at that.
Now, with that
But
being
again,
said,
the monsters incredible. They did a great job. They did a great job with their models. With they got the roars right. Will they get the moves right? I don't care. I mean, I personally don't care if they do the moves like because Rathalos has this thing because Rathalos has a poisonous tail and it does this backflip thing. I don't care if it doesn't do that or not. That's fine. It's a dragon. Do dragon shit. I don't care. They got the monsters perfect. So I will give them, a thumbs up for that. But other than that, they could have just made this a regular Monster Hunter movie. They didn't have to bring, an army out of, Battle Los Angeles into the world of monsters. They didn't have to do that. They could have just made a regular film. But I digress.
right, right. Now, with that being said, I'm sure there is one video game that each of you guys have that you believe will make a good movie or series. Um, do you have
Ooh.
one off the top of your head? I'm gonna start with Q Flow
Um, a video game that I think could be a good movie
or TV series that will
or
work
TV
and
series.
that will work without bringing modern day, like without bringing our world into
I
it.
think a Netflix budget Pokemon could work.
Okay.
Well, is that fair? Do you want like a game that hasn't been done? Because Pokemon's
Yeah.
been done, and
Yeah. Sure.
they had the
Yeah.
Pokemon correct.
Yeah.
So,
Sure.
all right. Well, I think a Netflix budget Devil May Cry could work with especially because we got Umbrella Academy, October Faction, like where they're already touching the supernatural. All you gotta do is get the characters right, and you're pretty much gold right there.
Right.
And I
Right.
think I think that could work.
Right. Mr. A&E, any video game right off the bat that you feel like will uh, contribute well into a TV series or a movie?
I believe for TV series, I got two TV series: Mafia and Red Dead Redemption.
Okay.
I do believe that with the old Western theme, that could be good Netflix series,
Mm-hmm.
and with Mafia with the 1920s theme, that it's like The Godfather.
Right.
It's like Ellie Noir. That theme could work, but with the Mafia storyline, that could work. When it comes to movies, it's always going to be Uncharted for me.
Right. I was going to say Uncharted for a series, but not to focus on Nathan Drake, to focus on Chloe and Nadine.
Okay, yeah, after the movie.
Right. Right.
Yeah,
I
didn't-
think
I
the
didn't-
live
said
court-
that, I just said that like this takes place after the video game, so the video games are canon. The TV show
Yeah.
will just follow whatever happens next.
I agree.
I think for a movie, I'd take a live action God of War. I think it could work.
I
If
would feel
Thor
bad
worked,
for
they
it.
I
could
think
get
God
that.
of War was better as a series.
I feel about God. Yeah, God will work better as a series. Especially with
You think so?
everything, yeah, with the amount of gods and the amount of.
'Cause
If we're talking new God of War, definitely a series.
you don't want to rush that. You
I
want
mean,
to
it
take your
could be.
time.
Well, that's what I was saying. It could be like a cinematic universe.
I don't know. I personally think it worked
Oh.
better as a series. But
Alright.
of course, the one that's like obvious, I feel like Overwatch will just be the best one to work with because they literally all they have to do is just take the characters and
All they gotta do.
it's
Oh,
not hard at all. It's not.
Are you talking live action or you want the CGI
I would
like how
rather
it
do
is now?
CGI, keep the
I would
characters the
too.
way they look, and
I was
it
about to
gives
say
them
yeah,
more
but
freedom. Oh yeah,
the
but
way the boys is going, a live action Overwatch could hit.
hey, maybe.
But I take the CGI though. I'm with you on that.
Yeah.
I'm halfway through there right now. It's getting good.
All right. But yeah, because I know they are making a Resident Evil reboot series on Netflix, and this time they're doing like the cast of Resident Evil. So Chris, Claire, Leon, all of them are going to be a part of the series.
Wesker.
I think so. Yeah, Wesker is going to be in it. So, and as far as I know, it's going to take place between, well, not in between, but it's going to do the time lapse of Resident Evil 1 and 2, which literally ties in directly to each other.
All right.
Yeah, we'll see how that series goes.